New guidelines from the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases is a fun group. They recommend that children start eating foods that contain peanuts when they're infants.
Yeah, new research found that introducing peanuts early prevented more than 80% of high-risk babies from developing peanut allergies. They say it's especially important for high-risk babies with severe eczema or egg allergy to be given peanut protein in the first 4 to 6 months. Our mid-morning pediatrician, Dr. Gigi Chawla from Children's Minnesota, joins us to talk more about how parents can safely introduce peanuts to their infants. This is something we were very concerned about as new parents when our kids were babies.
Yeah, you know, I think it affects up to 2% of kids across the U.S. to have a peanut allergy, so it is a concern that many parents have, and it's a really difficult life to try to live peanut-free.
For a while now, we've been hearing that allergies in general may be caused because kids are not put in front of these irritants at an early enough age to get used to them. Is that sort of what we're talking about?
Yeah, you know, I think that's really what this LEAP study, which is what the NIH guidelines has come from, has shown that perhaps we live a little bit too cleanly.
We're too clean, all the antibacterial soaps,
yeah.
Nobody gets sick, nobody plays in the dirt.
Exactly, and even...
I'm telling you what, there's something to be said for it, right? The body has nothing to fight, so it's turning against.
Exactly, and even perhaps even prenatally, you know, so moms who have an exclusive diet might be putting their infants at risk.
Everybody's freaked out, I can't eat this, can't eat that, can't eat this.
So how does this work? Like,
yeah, when do we do it?
Yeah, so kids who have a tendency towards severe eczema, because there's correlation with eczema or sensitive skin and subsequent peanut allergy, should first of all be doing this with your clinician. And this
don't go rogue.
Don't go doing this on your own. Be doing this with a healthcare provider so they know what you're up to. But usually what we would recommend then is those young infants should be tested first to see if they have an allergy already to peanuts that has been subclinical, not recognized yet because they haven't had any peanuts. And then if they really do not have an allergy, then the introduction of peanut paste or a little bit of peanut flour into the foods that they have already started eating can be really helpful, and that's what those studies have shown.
In what age, when do you start bringing that in?
You can start that as early as 4 to 6 months.
Really?
Again, with the guidance of a clinician, and really not about here's a peanut for a child to eat.
In general, is this every parent that should be thinking about this?
Yeah.
Or should at least be thinking about it, right?
I think every parent should be thinking about it. For kids who have moderate eczema, again, now the guideline has said maybe that's closer to 6 months of age to undertake some of that work. And for kids who have no eczema, then it's really up to the parent and clinician discretion to talk about when to start introducing solids and introducing peanut at the same time.
At the same time. So our Matt Brickman is off today. He and his wife having their second baby. And so that baby, basically, when solid food comes in, that's about the time you would introduce.
That's about the time to really start thinking about it.
And the benefit is not only a kind of less complicated adulthood, but you get to have things like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, too, if you're not allergic to peanuts.
Probably not at 4 months of age.
Not at 4 months.
But
certainly at 38 years of age.
That's right.
You can't stop a 38-year-old. You're right.
That's good. All right. Great advice and very important. Talk about it with your doctor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.